Guys, welcome back to the
Damn What Now podcast.
And today's episode is going to be all about respect and boundaries. Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's just introduce ourselves one more time for the people who are new.
Hey y'all, my name is Valentine Vale. Yeah.
Hi, it's Stephanie.
I'm Sophie.
I'm Melissa Money Mouse. Yep.
Okay, so first we're going to start with the damn news. First on the list is Blueface versus Kristen Rock. Well, not really versus, but...
Versus her
No,
father.
it is versus.
Blueface
very much
versus her
fighting.
father.
But
Didn't he punch her?
what are you guys' opinion on that relationship? What is some advice you might want to give her, and all that stuff?
Baby, be strong.
Isn't she pregnant?
No.
I heard she was pregnant.
I don't think so.
That would be scary. No, but
I won't put it
advice
past
for
her.
her, baby girl, stand up. Like, I've seen the pictures of her before and her now, and it is literally so scary. Like, a relationship can really, like, change you that much. And for him to be fighting your dad, baby girl.
But it's I said this before, but like it's just because their relationship is on a pedestal right now. But this happens a lot. Like this happens daily, like in not everyone would say everybody's lives, but if we were to go outside and like, oh, have you heard a similar story? They'd be like, yeah, like my cousin back home did that. You know what I mean? Like he was in a relationship with so and so. But yeah, I feel like it's things that we just have to talk about. Like toxic relationships are real, and now it's just being like glorified and laughed about. And that's why like when it happens in our day-to-day lives, we don't take it as seriously. We just take it as like drama and news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think their whole relationship is actually like kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like they beat on each other, and it's like
They think it's funny.
They're recording it and like they're laughing and they're still together. But at the same, I don't know what's going on in the relationship. But from what I'm seeing, looking in, it's really crazy.
I feel like I really hope deep down inside that this is all for publicity. Like this is a
joke.
No, but beating people up, how you about to make that publicity? She lost a tooth.
Some people go to the extreme just for money.
So
At that point, I feel like she has her clout. Like she has more followers.
No,
than
yeah, I
Instagram.
know, but I'm just
You don't-
saying,
But then
I
again,
hope-
and that's
I
a really
hope it's
dumb
that.
publicity thing.
No, it's
That's
dumb,
what I'm
but
saying.
people do anything for money. Like, trust me, people do.
Yeah, but now that you're in the public eye, you obviously have like fans
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff. So
what
what
I'm
are
saying.
you telling them girls that are looking up to you like, oh my
Some
god, so
people
if Christian can
don't
get through it, I can.
I think there's
Some
a
people don't care. That's the whole point of publicity. Bad publicity is still good publicity. Publicity.
I think
is
she
still
really
good.
I don't
that
think it's
man.
publicity though.
no, I
think she
don't.
No,
does
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying
I think this is real life.
I don't even hope that's what it is. I hope it's actually real life.
This is
I
because
hope it's real life.
the thing is, there's only so much you can fake. Because if this man literally was like, I will pay you to leave my life, that's the type I'm like, okay, then this is definitely not publicity, because it was about money, and so and whatever. Like she already got that. She could have
And
ended
you went
now.
into it knowing you was never the only
She could
girl.
have got that.
It's,
Like
it's a very touchy subject, but I would just tell her, like, just be for real and be for real with yourself and understand. The girl is not ugly at all.
no, she's beautiful.
a pretty girl.
She's very
She was
beautiful.
a
And she had a
track
lot-
star or a football player.
Try
football, too.
She had a lot going for herself, so I would just tell her, sometimes, like, even though it's not really good to listen to the public, I feel like in this situation, get out of it.
Yeah, please.
The public has voted.
Yeah.
Get that nigga off the island.
Yeah.
I feel like I think in a relationship, it's also hard because it's like people are, and especially in the public's eye, it's like when you're on that level, it's like there's so many people rooting you for you to leave. So what, you don't want to leave because you want to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
So she don't want to be in that sense of like, oh, people are like, ha ha, see, you're done. But it's just like, it puts you in an awkward situation. It puts you in your awkward situation because like, it's good for you to leave, but it's also bad because you're feeding into, what people want. But it's also, what people want is also good for you.
And also, like, don't stay in a situation just to prove something.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
don't stay to prove to the haters that they were wrong this whole time. Don't stay to prove to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just going to hurt yourself.
100%.
And it's not worth it.
One for the damn news is this whole birthday dinner thing. So basically, there's this video of this guy on TikTok going around where he's basically he basically had said, I'm not going to say word for word, but, you know, I'm going to paraphrase what he said. He said that if it's your birthday and you invited people out to a birthday dinner, you're responsible for paying their bill because you had invited them to that dinner. Now, there's been people who have agreed with what he said. There's been people who disagreed with what he said.
I'm one of those who disagree.
And coming from me, like, I definitely disagree with
Yeah.
that because I can kind of get what he's saying, but also it's like, it would be a different situation if it's just like a random dinner. But if it's somebody's birthday, even that too. But if it's somebody's birthday, if anything, the people who are invited should split up the birthday person's bill.
Exactly.
Like, it shouldn't be just because I invited you somewhere, you should. I have to pay for y'all bills. And not him, but like some people on TikTok who agreed with him related it to like when your parents threw you birthday parties, did they send invoices back to the kids that they invited? But that's something
You were a child. You didn't have a job.
Exactly.
Like, be for
Also,
real.
that's a party, and a dinner is a dinner. It's not like, and even if it is a party, like for me, if I throw a birthday party, I'm not gonna charge people at the door to come to my birthday party. Like, I would want people to come just because they want to celebrate my birthday. Like,
But even at that, like, I feel like the whole situation is wrong just because it's just like a birthday dinner. You're expecting something from like a birthday dinner that you would expect at a fucking wedding. It's not like we're paying for your plates at a wedding. That's different. That's me inviting you to my wedding. That's a different type of thing. Thousands of dollars. Like, of course I'm going to pay for everybody to have their meals or whatever. Some weddings even make you pay for their plates. Yeah. And I don't see nobody on TikTok complaining about that shit. But y'all gonna complain about a birthday dinner? Like, be for real. That's a different type of like situation. But like, you're going there to celebrate a person. You're not really going there to count that person's pockets. Like, that's not what you're going for.
I think it's different for like when you're having a birthday dinner, but then when you're throwing like a function. Like, if I'm like what you said, if I'm throwing like a birthday function, like a party, like I'm getting a venue and everything, of course I'm not gonna expect people to pay because that's on me. I'm renting out the building. I'm getting whatever. But if this is a birthday dinner, I shouldn't have to pay for anything, to be for real. Like,
exactly. You're the birthday girl.
If it's my birthday.
And
the only thing I'm paying for is my plate. Like, that's it. I'm not responsible for paying nobody else's plate. But somebody should be offering to pay for my plate.
And how do you guys feel about, like, you know, those people that are like, when they get the bill and they're like, okay, let's just split this bill evenly?
No. I'm paying for what I ordered.
I hate
that
is my pet peeve, because unless we all go out and we get $12 boneless wings, you know, that is fine because it's like, okay, we all got the same thing. But if you got 5 drinks and
a main and a dessert
and I came here for $11 meal, like, what are we doing?
Because I came here knowing what I can and cannot spend. You should come here knowing what you can and cannot spend. You shouldn't count how many people are coming and be like,
and now I'm paying for your food.
Because I'm not working down.
I'm not here for your food.
It's tax and tip.
I've noticed that so much. That's why, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I hate birthday dinners. I do, because when it comes to it, like, everyone goes with the anticipation of eating, but not knowing how they're gonna split the bill. Because we all sit there and we're like, okay, so
that's
like,
you gotta ask the waiter.
Because you sit there
the before y'all order, and then figure that out after y'all order drinks. So it's easier for him to split the drinks, because once, let's say 6 people, he has to split 6 meals. It's gonna be difficult, and some waiters and restaurants don't split. So
and then you're sitting there like, damn, like, and for me, how I act is like, I don't like awkward situations when if something needs to be resolved and nobody want to do it. Okay, I'll just step up. Let's do it so we can go home. So I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll just put it on my card. If I put it on my card,
hey, don't go chasing people.
I am not there to chase you. Listen, you did not want to personally put that on your card. That's completely fine. I volunteered myself, and I'm not saying, oh, I'm the bigger one. I'm just saying, like, do your part the way I'm doing my part, and everything's okay. Like, as long as I pay for it, and you're like, okay, I just zelled you like $30. Okay, cool. That's it. Like, that's fine. You don't want to put it on card? That's okay.
Because that's the worst thing when you're going after somebody, like, not like when you feel like you have to chase somebody for your bread, that's the most
like, what?
annoying
Like,
shit ever.
You sometimes feel bad about that, but you really shouldn't feel bad. But it's hard to not feel bad because it's like, damn. And especially if you're like the dinner's over, it's days later, you're still asking for that money, and then they're like, they get an attitude, or like they don't want to send it,
Or they're like, oh my god, it's just
stop texting you. I did not.
Yeah.
and then, or they try to gaslight you like, oh, it's just $20, bitch. Then be fucking for real. Then send me the $20.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Like if you know you're going out in a big group, it should be like discussed even before you get to the restaurant. How
Please
you split
Thank you.
check your
But
bank
if you're
account
going to
before
big
you even
bills-
step
Yes.
out. Like
Big
check
bills.
your
That's
account
right.
before you
I
step
gotta know
out.
a restaurant we're going to. I'm looking at the menu. I'm figuring out what I'm
Right.
ordering, and I'm adding tax to it and what I'm gonna tip. That's so I
Because
know
you
my
gonna
budget.
sit there and then everybody's like, oh, so how we splitting the bill? Everybody looking in the sky, checking Instagram,
Looking at
pictures,
their nails.
like,
down the whole
but
plate, like-
everything
Like,
else
people
but the
got
bill.
Exactly.
Like now I'm sitting here awkward.
You know
like,
what? If you like, not that this is sponsored or anything. This is not sponsored. But if you're going out in a big ass group, get a Cash App card.
Yes,
Get a Cash App
100%.
card.
It's so convenient.
Find the
have
Cash App exact amount. Get the Cash App
Yeah.
card. That's one card. Everybody sends one card. Boom.
Yeah, and that way
Over and
nobody
done
nobody
with.
can say I'm gonna pay you next week, and
No.
then no.
Send it
So
now.
how did you come out for dinner
Exactly.
and you cannot pay for that day?
And you're not even making it everybody else's problem. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Now everybody gonna pick up your slack.
I'm gonna tell the waiter to split their bill separately, and they could come back and pay next week because I'm gonna pay for the people who gonna pay right now. Like, but
It's
But
just
yeah,
a mess. It's a
so-
mess.
to get into our topic of like respect and boundaries, do you think respect is earned or given?
Given.
I think at first it's given,
But then
and then then you have to earn it. Like when I meet somebody, I'll have a level of respect for
Yeah.
you because you're human and I'm human, and I would like for you to respect that. But if you want to gain another level, I think there's different levels of respect. I have a different respect than my family's respect, than my friends' respect, than the person I meet outside. So yes, I think it's given, but you can earn
There's-
them
yeah.
levels. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah, I definitely agree. Like you're going, like especially like how I was raised. Like no matter which elder I meet, like I'm just automatically going to respect.
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Just because that's my culture, I'm
Right.
just automatically going to give you a certain type of respect. I'm not
Yeah.
going to come up to you and start dapping you up and on,
Right.
like you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So, but like that doesn't mean if you like if I'm meeting you and you turn around and give me an attitude, that I'm not going to turn around and give that shit right back to you.
Right.
So it's earned. So if you come around, if I give you respect and you give me respect, then that's like a mutual. Like now you've fully earned like a lot more respect
Right.
in my eyes.
But yeah, I definitely agree. I like the way you guys like said it. Like it's given, and then you have to earn to keep it. I feel like that's a better way to say it rather than just picking one. So yeah, but now, what are some of the boundaries that you guys have, like personally? Like maybe like one boundary. Like we could do like one boundary that you have for like friends or like family, and then a boundary that you have when it comes to like relationships. So like two in general, two like general boundaries that you have.
I
What?
think for me, like a general boundary I have is like how you speak to me, like your tone, the cadence.
Yeah.
I don't like when people are yelling at me. I don't like when you're talking in a condescending tone.
Mm-hmm.
Just speak to me like just how I'm speaking to you is how I want to be spoken to.
Yeah.
I
That's
definitely agree.
basic.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to take that. I like it how you talk to me because it really like just shows me how you look at me and how you view me. So if you're talking to me in a condescending way or like in a like I don't know, like just yelling at me, like I'm not gonna hear you, and that's like a boundary that I'm gonna have because
All across the board.
all across the board. Don't matter if you're my friend, my family,
Anybody,
it don't matter if you're
don't
some
yell
stranger
at
in the middle of
me.
the street. Like you're not gonna talk to me anyhow.
Especially if it's a
correct.
stranger, because it's like you do not.
Who are you?
me.
What are you saying right now?
Exactly. Especially
But-
if I didn't come to you with that type of energy.
Yeah.
Don't.
Do not do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's because I don't want to like repeat what you guys said, but one of my boundaries is something that we talked about today. I just don't like being asked of things. But yeah, that's just one thing. And even though it does stem from like trauma, I personally feel like that's something that I don't necessarily like. Obviously, I do want to change and not be, because now like I'm not like upset when people do it. I'm just like, I just don't like that. But I don't want it to be something that, because still at the end of the day, I just don't like when people ask me of things or like expect me to do stuff. But that's also something that I just don't necessarily feel like I should change about myself, because it's like, why do I have to agree with what you're asking me or do what you're asking me, or just like give in to your expectations of me?
They're entitled to you to do like
Like,
like
like being entitled,
like
like
the
that
entitlement
should,
part
like
of
that's
it.
like that's a boundary. Like entitlement.
Yeah, I
like,
think
that's
that
a boundary.
entitlement is
Well,
different
to me,
of being
it's-
asked of.
No, but it's still the same thing. Well, for me it is. I can't. Yeah, for me it is.
For me, I don't ask for too much, to be honest. I feel like respect is one of them, which is what we're talking about. But also, like, the way you treat me is how I'm gonna treat you. So I just expect the same genuine love that I give to you being returned. That's it. And that's my boundary. But also, another boundary that I have is your words. I feel like the way you use your words and what you use is also like affects how I am based on like also trauma too.
Yeah, another one is like personal space. Like not like literal like physical personal space, but like alone time. Like that's like when I'm trying to like just be by myself, I need you to respect that boundary. Because when it's me time, like when I like if I have a partner or whatever, I'm gonna want to be with you all the time.
Yeah.
But those times where I say I really need to be by myself, and
I
you
need
can't
to be
respect
myself.
that. Ooh, child.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be with you because there's sometimes where I just want to be alone and I want to be in my room watching my Riverdale.
Yeah.
But do you think respect and boundaries go together? Since we've talked about like respect and our personal boundaries,
100%. You can't have
one without the other.
Yeah, you cannot.
because you can't say somebody respects you if they
Don't follow
like,
your boundaries.
Follow your boundaries.
Yeah.
Or like even consider your boundaries. Like if there's some people who are like, you tell them your boundaries, like, yeah, but that's not me. And it's like, okay, so you don't respect me. And then they're like, yeah, I do, but no, you don't, because simply can't
This is what I'm requesting of
Yeah.
you, and you're not doing it.
And
so
requesting boundaries is not bad at all.
No.
Like, it's good to have boundaries. Some people
And it's
don't.
okay to
and it's
change
okay
your
if you don't
boundaries.
have
Yeah.
boundaries, but some people, it's very good to have boundaries because that sets a tone for how people treat you, how you view yourself, and like how you're like how many people, like how the people that you attract in a way.
yeah.
So it's very good to have boundaries and be stern on them and be open about them, especially if you're trying to get into a relationship. Don't not say your boundaries 6 months in and he's wondering why you're tweaking, like because you're irritated about something. You have to be open about stuff like that. At the end of the day, he can read your body language, but nobody's a mind reader. Like let's be honest.
But
It could
even
go
in
vice
saying
versa.
that, I feel like it's okay. Like, you could vocalize your boundaries in the beginning, but it's also okay if they change.
Yeah.
And it's also okay if you have new ones later down the line. I don't think that's bad.
For sure.
Yeah, it's okay.
But
to
you
update
have, as long
boundaries.
as you like vocalize it and everything, and honey, if you telling this man one thing and he's still not doing it, you saying in a different language ain't gonna change it.
And it's not only for me, boundaries are not only related to like intimate relationship with a man. It's universal with my friends, with my family, with strangers, like people like I need to work with. That's just how I am. Like with my family, they know, okay, Melissa don't like when you use these type of words. That's it. That's just that's her boundaries. That's when you don't cross that.
And you gotta be stern on your boundaries for people to take it seriously.
Yeah,
'Cause if you're not
100%.
taking it seriously, who else is gonna take it seriously?
Yeah.
So if you're not stern on it and always wishy-washy, okay, sometimes I'll let him speak to me that way, but now I'm not gonna let him speak to me that way.
You have to be
But then
stern
next
in
week
your
I'm gonna let him
boundaries.
speak. Like,
No.
you gotta be stern in your
But
boundaries.
also your boundaries can be, like Melissa said, it could be different for a relationship rather than a friend. Like you can
that's with everything though.
No, yeah. Like
you need to be stern in your boundaries throughout.
set boundaries,
Don't matter.
even set boundaries for yourself.
Exactly. Even for yourself.
I set boundaries for myself
And
all
you
the
need
time.
to, like, once you do that, you need to be stern on those boundaries, because at the end of the day, people are only going to respect your boundaries if you respect them.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's just like, don't matter if that's just a friend, if that's a boyfriend, don't matter which type of relationship, you need to respect your boundaries for others to respect it as well.
What boundaries do you have for yourself?
For myself, I don't let myself I try not to talk. I don't talk down on myself. Like that's a boundary I have for myself. Like I don't like to look at myself in like a negative way or whatever. Like sometimes like because I used to and I'm like, oh, I really hate this outfit now. I feel ugly and stuff like that. Like I just set that boundary where it's just like, let's not think about that. Like that's one of my boundaries. Or wait, is that even a boundary?
It is a boundary,
That's
Not
a
letting
boundary.
A
yourself
boundary is
talk down to
literally
yourself.
just something that you wouldn't do or you can't put up with.
Like a rule for
And if that's
yourself.
what
Oh, a
I'm
rule for
saying,
myself?
Yeah.
Oh.
That does count as a boundary.
Okay. So yeah, that and the way people talk to me, but I feel like that's already
Yeah.
I think my boundary is sort of the same as you. I don't like letting myself fall into like those negative like loopholes or whatever. I try to like a boundary for me right now would be trying to like enforce or like regulate my emotions. Like I can sometimes I let my emotions get the better of myself and then it causes me to like, you know, act out in certain ways. So I'm like, okay, once I set this boundary, like when I see myself feeling the certain way, I need to be able to like do this and this and this in order to like, you know, maintain some sort of like homeostasis within myself.
Yeah.
I feel like for me it's kind of like the same thing, but I don't really, well, I mean, I guess it could be under boundary, but it's just like I don't let myself, because I know how I get when I feel something, whether if I'm sad, I'm angry, or like even if I'm happy, or like if I'm too excited about something. Like I'm the type of person that's like, if I start to feel too much, I'll just tell myself like, let me relax for a second so I can not say like the first thing that's on my mind, because that's how I used to be. Like I would literally just say, like if I was upset, I literally would just say whatever was on my mind, and like it's good but not necessarily and not in every single situation. So like for me, I just, like she said, like regulate my emotions and know when it's time to say something and when it's not time to say something. So
I think a personal boundary for me is anxiety is something that God is, you know, he's helping me through. I've been like on and off with anxiety. So for me, like sometimes, and if you're battling with anxiety, I or man, I understand, because sometimes your anxiety be getting the best out of you. Like even when I'm driving, or like today I was walking and I was like, there's so many thoughts in my head. I was like, what if somebody like wanted to sex trafficking you? And like that's a personal boundary I set for myself. It's like, don't let your anxiety over control how like the course of life that God has planned for you to be. Like God got you. God got you. That's the boundary that I have. It's just like God got you when that anxiety starts to.
yourself out that mindset.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even like, because I agree with that too, because sometimes it's even
I can't hear you.
Sometimes it's even like when you are in those moments, like you can just be like, all right, let me just say a little prayer real quick, get myself out this. Because like I be angry and I'm like, let me just pray for God to take this anger away, because the Lord knows what's gonna happen next. But
I know that makes me think about like, I also want to know, what are y'all's spiritual boundaries? Since we all
like,
are Christian, we all go to church. Like, what are your spiritual boundaries? Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Yeah, like go ahead.
I get what you're asking, but also it's kind of difficult.
My spiritual boundaries, for me, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, you know, life has its course. But my spiritual boundary is not being with somebody who's unequally yoked with me. And if you don't know what unequally yoked is, if somebody does not have the same spiritual belief than I do. So like for me, like having a relationship with God, I wouldn't even say spirituality. I would say having a relationship with God is something important for me. And I would love my significant other to have the same or even better relationship with God than me, because it's such a pivotal part of like how I talk and who I am.
Yeah.
So that's a boundary for me.
Okay, now I get what you're asking. I would say for me would probably just be because I used to always ask God, like, why, God, like, why is this happening? So for me, I would always be like, not blaming God for certain things. or not even blaming him at all, because at the end of the day, he's really not at fault for anything. So I would say that for me. And sometimes it is easier said than done, but I just try to get myself out that mindset to where I'm like, it's really not like, this might be his path for me, and he's not doing it with ill intent. So I can't blame him for that. And I might be upset in this moment, and it's okay to be upset, but I need to understand that this might be for the better. So yeah. Just not blaming God for anything.
I think mine is sort of similar to Sophie's, as in a boundary I place with myself is like spiritually is like sort of not questioning God, like sort of not like always saying, God, why this, why didn't this happen, why didn't you do for this, for that, but more and so like, okay, I'm trusting in the process and the path that he has for me.
Like understanding like something's happened for a reason.
And it's also changing in the way I pray, like instead of just like I shouldn't always like only have to pray like when I need something, but like just praying, but like, thank you God, thank you for this, and thank you for the blessings that are yet to come,
literally for anything,
literally. So
waking up,
but instead of just, I was just so goal oriented in the prayer. Like, yes, you should be goal oriented when you're praying, but also just be like, stop. Enough with the pressuring. I feel like I'll be pressuring God sometimes. I'm like, God, hurry up and do this for me. Like, literally, can you just hurry up and do this real quick?
Relax,
calm down.
And I'm like, I have this prayer again.
He didn't even give you the key yet.
Like, so basically just learning how to like pray. Like, I've prayed about it and trusting that He's gonna make it work for me. And then leaving at that, and not sort of like I feel like I'd be nagging him sometimes, like just.
And to piggyback on that is more of a sense like sometimes you be going through stuff, but then you're so focused on like reaching the end of the tunnel, but you don't want to focus on like what's around you, like what is God trying to tell me right now? Like, okay, yes, I'm dealing with like this relationship issue, but it's like, what does God want me to learn about myself that's gonna better me for another relationship is to come?
Like even with like an example of that could even be like I guess I could use my example is like when I used to like work a lot and then I would literally just get sick like all the time, and I was like, bro, but I need money, and I was just so focused on money. But at the end of the day, God was just trying to tell me to like just relax, like I got you.
Trust me.
And when I tell you it has been like a month, almost 2 months since the girl has had a job and I'm still here. Like I'm not hungry. Like it's not like I'm struggling. Like it's not impossible to get places.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible to not have a job and live life. So and He's delivered me. So
Amen.
Trust Him.
A spiritual boundary that I have is definitely like setting like time aside. Making sure like the time that I set aside is for Him and only Him. Because before I would just be like, whenever I'm free, I'll do it. Like, whenever I'm free. But like now the boundary is like making it like not whenever I'm free, but like whenever like not whenever, but like I have a specific time. Like at 9:00 in the morning today, every day I'm going to do this for God. Or at this time every day I'm going to do this. If I'm not going to be free around that, I have to like schedule it, like make sure like making Him a priority where it's just like it has to happen, like just time for Him because He makes time for you.
So what do you value more, respect or loyalty?
Respect.
That was honestly a tough question because like Melissa came up with these questions, and when she said she was gonna put that on there, I was like, damn, that's damn. But now that I think about it, I do think I value respect more because I was like, at the end of the day, you don't have to be loyal to me. You could be talking mad mess about me behind my back, but like, well, not even that, because if you respect somebody, maybe you're not doing that. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, you could, not like me at all. You're not my friend, whatever, but you respect me enough to not even do anything of ill intent or not disrespect me in front of other people or not talk mess about me. Like, I'd rather that than somebody who's loyal to me, but loyal to me. Even if somebody's loyal to me, they don't respect you. Are they really loyal to you?
No, people could be loyal and not respect you. That's just it's just giving a lot of toxic relationships.
It's more of a sense like they feel like they have to. I've seen some friendships that like, okay, them people have been friends for like 18 years and that's why they don't want to leave. They're loyal to each other. Do they respect each other? No, because they be fighting all the time. So that's the difference.
Slick comments.
Exactly. Like, especially with some, I'm not bringing this up again, but like with them guy friend groups, they've been loyal. Oh, that's my boy. That's my
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
I'm gonna be loyal to him. You know that question that goes around Twitter, like, are you gonna snitch on your boy or cheat on your girl? And they're like, oh, I'm not snitching on my boy. Sorry, babe. What?
Excuse me.
So you don't respect? Yeah.
No,
it's
like,
crazy.
and then it's the crazier part is like the same guys that you're talking about going to jail for and being so loyal to are
They
the
don't
same guys
respect you.
who are going to make fun of you in front of that girl, who are
Yes.
gonna make fun of you if you don't have the bread, who are going to like do the most outlandish things, but that's
Yeah.
your boy, your boy, your boy.
I think with respect, it's like I prefer respect because like with respect, you're keeping it 100 with me all the time.
Yeah.
Like it
That's-
doesn't matter what's going on, you understand the relationship and the level of respect that I deserve a certain amount of, you know, truth and just honesty when it comes to certain situations. So it's like you already know like how you're gonna approach me
Yeah.
with respect. But with loyalty, it's like you can be loyal to a wrong cause. You can be loyal to a dead situation.
Yeah.
To someone that's not benefiting you, to a bad. Just like you can be loyal to bad things. It's not always like a good thing to have loyalty. But with respect, it's like this is it, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's
And you
like
know,
nothing about it.
I also think that it's harder to be like I'd rather have respect just because that's a harder thing to obtain than it is loyalty. Like
Yeah.
anybody could be loyal.
Anybody.
But not anybody
dog
could
can.
respect. Dogs is mad loyal, but
Thank you.
it's nobody that's gonna be. It's not a lot of people that could be really respectful of you,
Yeah.
truly and honestly respectful for you. So give me that respect. Keep that loyalty.
What's a time that you gotten disrespected that left a mark?
Oh, I got one.
Lord.
I got one, and it hurt. So I think I talked about this just with Stephanie because it just hit a nerve. But the one time I felt disrespected was in my old relationship. We got into an argument because he wasn't posting. Like he never used to post me or whatever. And I was like, oh, why aren't you posting me? Like, and you know, people are like, oh, like you go on Instagram, you know, them Instagram relationship people that want to tell you how a relationship go. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't care if he doesn't post you as long as he's with you, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool, but then it's just like you see,
certain people,
for a certain extent,
That's for you, girl.
That's for you, but for me,
no, my man gonna have to post me, right? So I just like, and then that time I was going through some stuff where I was just like, am I not pretty enough for you to post me? Like what's going on? You start questioning yourself because you're my man and you don't feel like I should be shown off. And he disrespected me in the most craziest way, and it left the biggest mark. And he literally said, "Are y'all ready?"
Go ahead.
This man said, what do you want me to do? Put you on a fucking billboard or something? I would never do that. I would never do that to you. I would never post you like that. I said, oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. I said, okay.
It's good. Thank you.
It's good.
Another one.
Another one. Oh my God.
I've been
I said,
emotionally downcast.
I said, oh my God.
women.
And it was just like that came from not even a man. It came from my boyfriend at that time.
Wow.
I said, "Oh my God!" And when I tell you that was, I told Stephanie, I said that was my villain story right then and there. Because then I was like, okay, if you're not about to put me on a billboard, I'm put myself on that motherfucking billboard. Because I was so sad about that shit, bro. Like, because I was like, damn, he don't think I'm pretty enough to put me on a billboard. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, like, damn, not even my nigga gonna put me on a billboard.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, yeah, he wouldn't even put me on a billboard. So I was like, okay. So from then on, I just made sure that like I just like had more self-love for myself, stuff like that. And yeah, that's the time I felt really disrespected. I'm not even gonna lie. That was bad.
I think for me, a time that really stuck out to me or like really left a big mark on me would have to be in dealing with my parents and sort of like the aspect that like I would voice certain things that, oh, I don't like this, or I'm telling you my input, and it's sort of like they listen and they completely disregard what I have to say, and it just goes to show like they don't respect what I have to say.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like I feel like I'm whatever I have to say is like not important, and obviously that stunted me emotionally. But it just sort of goes to say like, you know, it's like because it's sort of like from their perspective it's like, oh, it doesn't matter what I have to say because of my age, because they basically were like, oh, you don't deserve respect, like you're still young, you're just a child, you don't really know what you're doing. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like even with children, like my thing is it goes for children too. Like I feel like
Yeah.
even young kids deserve respect.
Yeah.
Because they're entitled to their emotions. There's a reason why they feel a certain way or why they're voicing certain opinions. And so it's like it's nothing wrong with like taking time to hear and understand where this is coming from, and just taking acknowledgement and giving them that respect. Like, okay, I hear you and I respect what you have to say, and I'll take that into account, and I'll react accordingly. I'll respond accordingly. I behave accordingly. But to just disregard my voice completely and my emotions when I'm voicing them sucks. It's not a good feeling. So I think, and I see that a lot too. Like in older generations, they like always automatically like, I deserve this respect, but then they won't even try to like give you respect in return. So it's like
they don't think you deserve it. Yeah, that's terrible.
For me, I don't really necessarily have like a specific story, just because for the most part, most of that stuff is deep down under in a locked vault. But I mean, I guess I could agree with like Stephanie with like the whole parent situation. But like one story that I felt kind of disrespected was in high school, where we had health class, and you know they're talking about like I think it was like junior or sophomore year, talking about like diets and like people who are like overweight, people who are underweight, and all that stuff. And the teacher was like, yeah, people who are like skinny, like that's their choice to be skinny, like you just choose not to eat. And I'm like, you can't say that, because some people just have a fast metabolism. And I was telling her, I was like, some people just have a fast metabolism. And she's like, yeah, but if you know you have a fast metabolism, why don't you choose to eat more? And it's like, but like, that's
not coming from a health teacher.
And I'm like, that's just, for some people, that's just not how it works, because there's people who deal with eating disorders.
Yeah.
And you could say that that's a choice, but in their mind, it's not a choice. Like they literally, like there's something in their brain that makes them think that I have to do this. So to me, it just felt very unfair, even though she might have not been speaking directly to me, because we weren't talking about me, but I just felt disrespected because in high school, I was way skinnier than I was now. So it's like, you trying to shoot some shots at somebody, but we all know who you talking about, girl. So yeah, that's the moment where I was like, this girl is crazy. But yeah,
For me, I think the most I wouldn't even say. There's been a lot of disrespect in my life, ain't gonna lie. But I think the pivotal one, I think when I love my dad.
Damn.
Love him. But yeah, people do make questionable decisions, and that's just life. Well, it was my mom's funeral, and I don't see my dad too often. Like the last time I saw him was like 3 years before my mom's funeral. And it was just like, we don't talk too much, and that's just, it's not like we can't, but we just don't. So on that, he stayed for a week, and then on the same day we had a wake, and he decided to leave. He didn't say too much on my mom's funeral. Like he didn't, that's a whole mess, but yeah, like, and then he told somebody else if he could take care of us. So I don't know, I think that was just, it was more disrespectful because it's like it's coming from my father,
especially during the situation.
Yeah, it's like, damn, like I needed you here, and that was the respect that I needed. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I understand you have work, but you did not communicate until that day that you were leaving, which is like, so you have no respect for, damn, the woman that housed all these kids for you. But yeah.
So now that we talked about a time where we felt disrespected by someone, does it make you, when you are disrespected by someone, does it alter the perception of you, or does it alter the perception of the person that is disrespected?
I feel like it does both.
Yeah.
Because when I got disrespected during that time, it's like, damn, what did I do to make you think like that was okay for you to say to me?
Right.
And then it's like, on top of that, then it makes me look at you differently. Now it's like, oh, you're really not the person I thought you were.
Right.
Right? But I feel like when you get disrespected, it's going to be both ways. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's just like, I mean, I don't know with everybody, but like I know with me, when I get disrespect, like I'm just gonna look at you like, what energy did I give you to think that was okay to say to me? Because let's be for real, if you're talking to the president, you're not about to tell this shit to the president.
Exactly.
But
But the president is still
made
just a
you
human.
sit
He just
down?
holds a
We never did
position.
that before.
Exactly.
So-
A very respected position.
Exactly.
Where you know you're not about to say that. Even if
Exactly.
you're really, really mad. So why do you think it's
Right.
okay?
Now,
Yeah.
Como se dice?
Some people, I feel like some people like just pick and choose when they want to be respectful, especially like whether it could be friends or like a relationship wise. Like, and it's not fair. You can't pick and choose when you want to respect somebody and when you don't want to
Exactly.
respect them. Because if you value somebody, you should want to respect them at all times.
And it also shows the value you have for yourself.
Right.
Exactly.
I think it's a situation that arose like with my dad. I feel like I'm a type of person that when things happen to me, I automatically assume that it's me, that I'm the issue. And that's just back to like, how I was raised in trauma. But now that I'm starting to like relearn and like reform my mindset, it's like, no, things and people are going to act the way that they're going to act, but you gotta sit down and think of like, okay, am I going to absorb what they're doing or I'm going to move accordingly?
Yeah.
So now it's just like, okay, yeah, he did that to me. Doesn't mean like I'm not like worthy of his love or worthy of his respect to sit down and for him to be like, okay, I'll spend time with you on this like crazy day that no one should be going through. It's just like, okay, that's his personal choice, and it sucks that I had to get the bad end of the stick kind of thing.
I think for me, on my part, like once I get disrespected or after I've shown you respect, if for me, it becomes very hard to be like, okay, should I continue respecting you? Because I'm about to wild out now. Like I'm about to say what I really want to say if this is how you're coming. But I think it really shows your maturity if you are getting disrespected and you continue to hold that sort of like, yes, you disrespected me, but I'm still gonna. I think it's more like, I still have respect for myself to carry myself a certain way and not react in the way.
And those people are strong. Them people that can
I
sit
don't know
there
if I'm
and
that
take.
strong.
I'm not that strong. If you can sit there and physically take all that disrespect, me salute to you, madame.
I mean,
Physically or verbally?
Like physical, like disrespect. You know when you're getting disrespected. Like if somebody just came up to you and just started wailing and disrespecting you for no reason.
I mean, it's different for that. If it's like you're touching me,
not touching
if
you,
you're
but
touching me,
respect is out the window.
like verbally.
You feel disrespected, like sometimes you just feel it.
Or like you feel like you want to cock back and just.
And not to say anything back. That's what I'm saying. Like people that get disrespected and don't say anything back like that.
I learned.
It takes a lot,
Because
and then
I used
people
to not be like that, and I would be
Now
like, I'm sorry,
I just
mother.
like, oh,
little mother, like, get out my
Suck
face.
your mother.
Suck your mother.
Like, please.
But I think it's like, because I know some people are like, oh, like you're like, they see you like, oh, you're like a punk for not doing it.
But
like,
you're
no,
just
not.
No, I just have
No.
respect for myself to not
that's
portray myself in that
I'm not
manner.
gonna stoop on your level.
It
But-
shows how
No.
you view yourself.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, most people who disrespect you or anything, some people just want a reaction out of you.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
when you don't
You're
give
not
them
gonna
that,
get it.
It's way worse than you giving them that reaction. So then they're like, why is she not playing, like, fighting
my
my
game?
back? Now you're just in
Now you
a
look
boxing
like a
ring
dummy,
by
yeah.
yourself, punching yourself in the face.
I'm not gonna lie, the reaction part, I'm still learning that because I'm a really reactive
I can't
person.
lie, yeah.
I'm not even gonna sit here and cap.
Yeah.
Somebody disrespect me, I'm get mother, get mom. Like
Literally.
what?
I don't know. I can't. Like, it's like you're yelling at me. I'll just look at you like, okay, you're done. Oh, so you're gonna let me speak? Okay, cool.
Melissa's gonna disrespect you in the most nicest way possible. She
I just want to say,
you're
literally
It's like, the way you're speaking to me is definitely a trauma response.
deplorable. Have some decorum.
Instead of taking it up with me, get a therapist.
Take it to God.
Take it to God.
Upstairs.
It's $30. The therapist session is $30.
I'll pray for
You
you.
know, out of my courtesy, because I'm a kind person, I'm gonna pay for it.
Because God
For your
loves
first
me.
session. God loves me, so I love you. You're my brother, and you're my sister.
My brother in
God
Christ.
bless you.
Be for real.
I
God loves
went ahead and made the appointment for you.
I just added you to my prayer list.
I don't know. I can't, and it's in the Bible. It's like people who are reactive, God doesn't see that and deems it as well. Like he doesn't. Like it's literally on there, but it takes time because sometimes people say stuff and I'm like, like I really do want to say something. I'm like, no, don't step out of your character because what they say, because it's okay.
That's why I said like that is a boundary for me too.
Yeah.
It's like I know this is not going to end up good for you or for me. So
I
for
can't.
the sake of me, I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
This reminds me of another boundary that I have for myself. I feel like another boundary I have for myself is like when I feel uncomfortable, I always have to speak out. I don't like, and also like a sort of like respect for myself. Like I respect myself enough to like call out something that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I
And
think
outside,
everybody should be
like you
that
should,
too.
like if you're uncomfortable, like if I feel like something is wrong, if I say something wrong or something has done something wrong, I'm like, I have something to ask. Like, what did you mean by doing that? What did you mean by saying that?
What do you mean by that exactly?
Yeah, I just feel like that's also another like form of respect. Like me personally, like just being able,
Self-respect as well.
Yeah.
being able to call out certain things.
Yeah,
for yourself.
I'll call it out, but I'll call it out in a nice way where we can have a conversation about it, but not in a way like now I'm retaliating to what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
okay,
lie.
you said this and this about me. Okay, but you know what? You told me that your mom did this, and that's what.
I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
how I'm gonna sit down. I'm like, damn, like
I'm
why
not-
you using what?
I'm not even gonna lie. I probably would say some shit like that.
I believe you.
I'm not like no, because just like I'm still learning. It's not something like to boast about,
Yeah.
but it's just like it
And
is
it's
so
okay.
hard
It
to
is.
keep it. Like especially when it's somebody like I feel like it's harder for a stranger. I might keep it, but if it's somebody that I really know and we really have that relationship and you really disrespecting me, I'm going to wild out.
Yeah.
And that was really
Because you know me. You know
because you know
what
me.
I'm about.
You
What are you
know
talking
what's
about?
going on here? Because now it's
Yeah.
really like suck your mother. That was really like.
For me, it's like now it's like when people disrespect me, it doesn't come off as anger. It just comes out as hurt. Like I'm hurt, and it's gonna show me in like it's gonna resonate in sadness.
Yeah.
Because like I don't act in a way for somebody to do that to me.
Yeah.
So when you do, I'm like, damn, like you really didn't. Because I've never done that to you. Like
Yeah.
never have I walked out like that, and you doing that. Like seriously. But
Yeah.
life, people gonna be people. That's one thing.
So
people.
how do you feel when someone judges you without knowing you or even like trying to give you a chance?
Ooh, before this
Go right
used-
ahead.
Before this used to
don't
irk
know.
me. This used to irk me before, but like nowadays it's like if I don't know you, I don't care what
Me
you
not
have to
care.
say.
Me no care.
Like,
I care
Yeah,
too
that's
much
my
about
bad.
you.
Gotta do that.
Like I said, who are you? Who are you?
Me and-
If you know me, you know me. But,
Yeah,
like,
and if you don't, that's
you
your
don't.
business.
That's-
I feel like I used to. Yeah, I'm agree because I used to care when I was like younger. It's like, why are you judging me and you don't even know?
Yeah,
me?
'cause
But now it's just like there's no point for me to correct you because you're already seeing me in the light that you
Exactly.
want to see
Exactly.
me in.
Yeah.
Like, who
And
are you
that-
for me
that's
to
your
prove
reality,
myself
but
to
why
you?
am I
Prove myself
opening
to
my
you?
eyes in the morning?
Who are you, my college recruiter? What?
No,
You're not
yeah.
my mom.
So yeah, honestly,
No.
I just sometimes it depends because Melissa told me how she viewed me when we first met. So like for me, I mean, I can't really like of course I'm gonna be like, why did she think I was that type of person? In reality, I'm a fun girl. I'm fun.
I'm
and
a good
fresh.
gal.
I'm a fun girl, fun and fresh. But like Stephanie said, like at the end of the day, like it's not really gonna change my reality, and it's not gonna make me want to be molded into the person you think I am. If anything, it's gonna strive me away because I don't want to be who you think I am when I could be who I am.
Exactly. And I don't like being around people that automatically just start judging. Because if
Yeah.
you're already that type of person,
That's
girl,
a red
me and
flag.
you, we ain't gonna even work
Life
out.
must be so boring and hard.
No,
for
for
you.
real. How you gonna look at somebody and just automatically, like,
You're thinking the worst.
thinking the worst? Like,
Yeah.
that is so negative, Nancy, and I
What?
can't go out with you.
When you think the worst out of me, like so I've been in situations where like I want an opportunity and I can't get it because they think I'm not deserving of it. And that lights a fire up my ass because now I'm like, you don't think I can get this, but I'm gonna get 2 times, 10 times better because God got me. That's the type of person I am. Like, okay, cool.
When you're always living thinking about, oh, what if this person is, it makes everything so much harder and it causes so much question and doubt in yourself. Just focus on yourself.
Be for real with yourself
and focus on the ones who love you.
Maybe go touch some plants or something. I don't know. Those people are scary, man.
For real.
So, what is a lesson that we took away from this conversation?
Me not like judgmental people.
me not like no disrespect.
Don't like that. No.
I feel like I took something away. I came out with a new boundary.
What's your new boundary?
I mean, that'll be conversed later.
Oh.
It's nothing bad, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Put
Put in the vault.
You guys aren't invited. Sorry.
I learned
Exclusive.
Obviously I learned you guys' boundaries and whatever. And I just, after hearing you guys and after also speaking about yourself, like I have to be fair with myself. I also have to uphold my boundaries and my respect for myself. Like, yes, I say this, but I'm not perfect. So I just have to like take a step back and be like, did I really respect like, yes, you can have these boundaries and respect, but you have to like, I have to do my own work myself, like look back, like, was I disrespected this moment? Why did I let this happen to myself? Am I upholding my boundaries? Am I respecting my friends' boundaries? You know? So this was really good. I love this.
You know what I saw, like, on a post where it was just like, I think it was on TikTok. It was just like, when it comes to like relationships and friendships, we expect more. Like, I expect you to be much more respected in your relationship than I would expect to be respected in my relationship.
Yeah, it's like
or something like that. So they were like, I saw the TikTok and it said, okay, so take take the respect that you would expect you would want your friend to get, rather than what you want, because you always see yourself in like a lower, like. And I when I saw that TikTok, I said, damn, why you hating me like that?
Just slating me like that.
But I'm glad to know we have sort of like similar views and standpoints on boundaries and everything.
I think that's why we're friends, because we have the same boundaries for real.
Yeah, I feel like more or less the same boundaries. Some of us have
not
different
necessarily
ones.
the same boundaries, but boundaries. We have boundaries that it's like your boundary is something that I don't have for myself, so it's easier for me to understand where you're coming from. So it's easier to connect. It's like puzzle pieces connecting to each other, type of thing.
What I learned is sometimes people gonna be people. No matter if. Don't set your boundaries based on people following them, because then you're not going to set boundaries. Yeah. Because now you're like, okay, why should I? Because they're not going to follow them. It's more of the boundaries are not for them, it's for you.
Yeah.
It's more of a sense like, I have enough respect for myself. I know my value. And it's just putting a price on you. It really is. It's like, okay, that's my price tag. And if you can't meet it, you can't do the zeros behind all that, then it's not for you. That's not your product.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So what do you guys claim for this upcoming week, for maybe any of our viewers that are watching, listening?
I claim for safe travels and peace during the travels.
100%. I claim discernment, and we were talking about, I went to church today. They were talking about wisdom, and I claim wisdom for everybody, because I think that's really needed in relationships, no matter if it's parental.
Your prayers do work fast.
They do. One thing about me, God got me on express shipping. I don't know.
I'm going to pray for something that's going to happen that same day. I'm going to be like, damn.
God love me. But anyways, yeah. Wisdom and discernment.
I claim for this week, I claim for everybody to be able to set some time aside and be able to look inside themselves and set healthy, or look back at their relationships and really see if they're following and abiding their boundaries and their respect or whatever.
Yep.
So it's healthy relationships, healthy time for yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm claiming.
I claim more growth and sustainability in the growth. Because you could grow, but are you gonna, are you gonna plummet? You know what I'm saying? So I claim that for all the people that are watching, listening. and as well as for myself and for everybody here.
Thank you.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully you learned something from it. Like we said in the beginning, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that. We are now officially on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So make sure you follow us. We, the live Q&As and stuff. Always ask us questions. We will be here to answer them. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.